4.6 seconds left. McCree got to move. 2 seconds left. Burt at the buzzer. She got it. That's a 3. Count it. At the buzzer. Lucy Burt hits it from down under at the buzzer. Walk it off, Coffeyville. Go home, Lucy Burt. That's 64-61, and they just upset the number 8 team in the nation with 4 seconds left. Lucy Burt hit the biggest shot I've ever seen in person in my entire life. What a shot. What a clutch shot from Lucy Burt.
You just heard the call from Matt Jordan from KUSN. We're here with head coach Steve Harrel. How you doing, Steve?
Doing great. It's a great Monday morning.
Yes, sir. Hey, you just had an addition to your family. How's all that going?
No sleep. I was actually supposed to have 6 o'clock shooting this morning. I texted my girls about 3 in the morning and told them, nah, we'll go at night. She was up, and then once she went to sleep, I couldn't go back to sleep, and so it was just a whole big thing.
Right. Parenting problems, but welcoming parenting problems. Oh,
no doubt about it. She's beautiful. She was healthy, so I thank God for that, and that's all you can, be thankful for.
Absolutely. I'm sure Tamika's, glad that she's finally here.
Oh, yeah. She's ready to get her body back. She probably hate me for saying that. But she's ready to get back to normal.
Right, I hear you. All right, huge win against the number 8 team in the nation, Seward Saints. Take us through the game.
We started off pretty good. We stuck with them in the first quarter. That was one thing I was really worried about, is starting the game well. I kind of felt like we haven't been starting games well, and then we definitely haven't been starting first and second quarter well. So at the end of that quarter, I want to say we were down 15-12, and I told them, I said, listen, you did the first part. You kind of stuck with them, and they shot the ball pretty good, and we turned the ball over. And so I was just telling them, when we're playing bad and we can't hit a shot, just hang on. If we can hang on to the second half, we'll be okay. And we did that. The second quarter, we scored like 17 points, and they only scored, I want to say, like 11. So we did what we were supposed to do, and we went in the half, we were winning. So
yeah, 7-point lead at half.
Right. So it was definitely we wanted to be in the game, but we thank God we was winning the game.
Right.
So going into halftime was a different halftime than we had in the past, and that was a good thing. We kind of adjusted some things, kind of went over some things that were going good for us there. I explained to them, I said we need to have a good third quarter. I said, now they're a good team. They're not ranked for nothing. They haven't lost only one game for nothing. They're gonna make a run. And I said, what we have to do is just make sure that we handle their run very well. And then once they finish their run, we go on a run. And so they came out just like I thought. They had a good run. I kind of cut it, I want to say, to 4-6. And then we kind of traded baskets and stayed between that 6 and 8 range. And then we got to the fourth quarter. I was kind of wishing the game was over then, but it wasn't, because I knew they're a good team and they just wasn't going to die.
Right.
And so they came out and they played well, but we played well in the fourth as well. We hit some shots. We moved the ball. They tried to do a little pressing. We kind of scored out of that, so that was good. And then we got down to about 3.5, 4 minutes left. And they made a run. They hit some shots. We kind of put them in position to be successful with our press. They kind of got out of it and got some wide open jump shots in transition. So that was mostly my fault. But we kind of handled it enough to where we could just hold on. And then we didn't give up to the lead, I want to say, until right at under a minute. And it kind of worked out in the end. We got a foul with Scott Jasper on the out-of-bound play. She hit both of them, and that was huge for us. And then we got to about 2 minutes is what I was telling them, listen, we're up 6. Just if you get 2 stops, you win the game. And one of them we gave up. This girl hit a nice shot, but the other one, we got a foul call on a rebound that we got. And my assistant, I know she kind of wanted me to go off, but it was just so far on the other side that I couldn't complain because I couldn't really see it.
Right.
So, you know, I knew when she went to the line, she was going to make both of them. She's a good player. And I had already blew my timeouts because I had to stop the run twice. And then in the first half, I had to stop and kind of explain some things that I wanted to do within that zone. So I had no timeout. So all I wanted to do was I grabbed Lucy and I moved her to the wing. And I said, you just stand here. And I told my point guard, I said, you know, you got 4 seconds. That's a long time. You don't have to panic. It was actually like almost 5 seconds. I said, just grab it, dribble it up the sideline, throw it up to Lucy. And Lucy, you just shoot it. And, man, it went just like that. She made it. We got it in fast, which was key.
Right.
If we would have kind of been stagnant getting it in, that could have delayed the process. But we got it in fast. We got it to our point guard. She didn't take a lot of dribbles, didn't panic. She took 1 dribble and just got it up the floor to her. Lucy got a good look at it, and thank God it went in.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, all game long, what we were talking about at halftime, Matt, Jordan, and I, you know, what's the keys to, you know, for the Red Ravens to come with a win? It was Lucy and McCree are going to have to make some big shots.
No doubt.
And I'm telling you, there hasn't been a bigger shot this year to this point than Lucy's shot right there.
Oh, no doubt. About 2 years ago, a girl by the name of Devin Cosper, we were playing Johnson, and she hit one at the foul line, and we beat them. And so I thought that was pretty big. But, yeah. There's nothing bigger than that one, man. That's one I told him. I said, you'll remember that forever, man.
What's going through your mind as Lucy's catching the ball?
Well, she's catching the ball, and I'm thinking, just get it up before the clock goes off. You know, if all else fails, you shoot an air ball. Who cares? We go to overtime, but at least we got to attempt. You know, don't travel. Just catch it and shoot it. Don't think about it. And then when she shot it, I'm standing behind her, so I'm kind of giving them this lean. And she shoots it so high, man. It kind of felt like it was in the air about 5 seconds. And so she shoots it, and I'm going, nah, that's either going to hit the front of the rim or that's going to be an air ball, because it was just so high.
Right.
And so I'm kind of coming up out of my lean, kind of saying, nah, that's off, and then boom, it goes in, and I just lose it. So that's what I was thinking.
You weren't the only one. Everyone in the entire place was going crazy for it.
Yeah.
To start the game, you have Tanksley. She does a jump ball. What was the process behind that?
Wasn't gonna get it. No matter who we put in there from our squad, we wasn't gonna get it. So let's get back. Let's get setting our defense and try to slow them down. Seward is averaging almost 90 possessions a game. And so what I don't want to do is them get the tip, they make one pass, make another pass, and then boom, and they off to the races. You know, they're a team that builds off stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure that they knew you can have it. You're going to have to come down here and score it.
Right. Were your girls receptive to that? Were they like, yeah, let's do that? Did you have to convince them for it?
Oh, no, I actually did it at NEO. NEO also has a 6'5", 6'6" girl. And so I put Michaela up there, and I remember my wife after the game, she was like, what were you doing? I said, man, listen, we wasn't gonna win that tip. It doesn't matter. That girl's 6'5", 6'6".
Right.
We ain't getting that one. So let's not get out of place trying to do something we know we're not gonna do. Let's just get on back and try to get settled in and try to get a stop right away.
Well, speaking about defense, you know, we talked about Lucy earlier. She had 8 rebounds on the game, but all of them were defensive. So how important is that, like, to have that kind of game, you know, leading forward toward your offense?
Oh, man, look, when she rebounds for us, it helps us out because she's a person who can catch it and dribble. And I always tell her that. I said, man, you know, when you're struggling with your shot, you want to get a defensive rebound. And you want to get it because now you don't have to look for a point guard. They know if you get it, you can dribble, so everybody gets out and run. And the more you push it and they run, they're worried about who you're going to pass it to. And so they're backing off. And that's when you're going to get your shot. Because once you get off it, they're all in your face, and you may not ever get it back again. So when you're in that transition mode and everybody's moving backwards and they're thinking what their coach taught them, which is guard the basket, they're getting back to the paint. you need to be looking for your shot in transition. So I love it when she rebounds. I'm trying to encourage her to do that a little bit more and look for that shot in transition as a bonus.
You mentioned Lucy's rebounding, and I think you guys gave up some offensive rebounds kind of in the middle of the game, but she did seem to come up with a lot of big ones late, and it wasn't always lead to points. But I remember, I was sitting courtside, and I'm just like, she just come down with one, like, wow, that was huge. Just every single stop, and it was she don't lose them. No. She brings them down. She keeps them pretty secure. So that's just kind of nice when I guess a 3-point weapon can also board up on the defensive side. That's pretty nice to have.
She's 6 feet.
Yeah. Good wingspan.
Yeah, like get up and get your rebound or two. And I try to tell her, listen, you're not the best athlete. We all know that. But just think position and box out. Just do the little bitty things. You're going to play people that are faster than you, longer than you, taller than you. But just get good position, know where the ball is, and just go after it. Rebounding is effort and want. It's just all about either you want a rebound or you don't. There is no in between. And when she decides that, hey, I'm going to go get a rebound, she's go get it. And the more she gets them, the more successful we are.
Well, and talking about position, I noticed, and I don't know if you want to talk about it a whole lot, but you switched up your defenses a lot throughout the game. And both teams, I think, played a lot of zone. But you ran at times a box and one. Or it might have been a diamond and one. I can't remember exactly what you guys were out there. But Lucy at times would have to be on her own down in an island against those big centers for Seward. And she did a really good job. Did held position and didn't foul a lot. So, you talk about positioning not only for rebounding, she was where she needed to be in that kind of – and because – boxing one is you're kind of out there even though you're in the box. You're out there kind of by yourself. You got a lot of space to take care of.
No doubt about it. The funny part is, everybody was thinking, man, you're in a diamond in one, you're in a boxing one. I wasn't in either of them.
Really?
No. All I did was we worked on in practice, and I want to give a shout out to a lot of the football team. They've been coming out and helping us prepare for games. So
that's
shout
awesome.
out to them, and we really appreciate them. We definitely going to need them in the future. But what we did was we got one of their fastest guys, and what I said was me and Coach came up with the game plan that whenever you see this kid, and her name is Molly Mousy, very talented young lady. She didn't have a good game against us, thank God. But she's a very talented girl, freshman of the year last year. But we said wherever she's at, you are in a face guard man-to-man. So wherever she's at, if she's up on top of the floor and she's in your area, then you are all out denied. And when she starts to move, then you need to make sure that you hand her off. And if she's in your area, you have no other responsibility. And so what we wanted to do was kind of take her out of the game and make everybody else be a player. Because if you look at their stats, she's averaging right around 18 points a game. And then the next person is right around 8. And then it's like 8, 7, 6, 7, 6, like that. Right. So that's a big drop. That lets you know how good that young lady it really is. So we kind of want to just bother her as much as possible. Kind of like the same thing people do against us with Lucy. And so we kind of took that format and implemented that in practice. And I gotta say, the young ladies, they pulled it off. I was a little worried because we put it in the day before. And normally when I put stuff in the day before a game, it doesn't go as well. But God was with us, and so we worked that thing out. And so it kind of bothered her because she was never free. And if she wasn't free, when they trying to reverse it, it kind of stagnates their offense. And so I'm trying to swing it to this side, and I can't. And I have to go back here, but it's covered. So now me, who normally don't dribble or normally don't pull up and shoot, have to go make that play. And it worked out for us.
It did slow him down. So it was more of like a matchup zone type of thing.
It's a matchup. It's our same 3-2. I didn't want to change it as much because, like I say, I don't think we pick up things as well because we have a lot of freshmen. So I wanted to keep the same format, just give it a couple different rules within the format, and they picked it up.
Just adaptability.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
well, they're freshmen, but every game they get a little bit older.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
A little bit older.
Hopefully, by the time we come back from Christmas, they'll be sophomores. I'll be good with that. Very good with that.
Well, kind of getting, again, back to Lucy. Since her indie game, her rebounds have been a major focus for her. She had 6 against Dodge City, 8 against Hutch, 2 at the Cloud game, 6 at Pratt, and then 8 at Seward. What's kind of been her focus? I know we kind of touched on it a little bit with that, but what's been your story to tell her, or her driving focus for it.
You can go get a shot.
And she's hungry for
Oh,
it.
man, look, whenever you tell a shooter, listen, the more you rebound, the more shots you get, that kind of just puts something in their head to go, you know what, he ain't lying about that. Once you start to break that down, start thinking about it, you know, I'm already getting this many shots, but he's told me if I go get a rebound, then I actually can pull up and transition. It kind of get it going, get the juices going. But another thing is Lucy's a kid who wants to do whatever it takes to win and help a ball club, and that says a lot about her. You know, Lucy is not a 4. We play her at the 4, but she's not a 4. She's a 2 guard, and for her to adapt to the role, it's huge for us, and we really appreciate it. And in the long run, it'll not only be good for us, but it'll be good for her, because at the next level, at that height, you've got to be able to not only shoot it, but you got to be able to do something else to help your ball club. So if you can shoot it, and then on the backside, you can get some rebounds for them. Coaches love that, and they salivate at the mouth when it comes to recruiting.
Right. Just a dual player.
Oh, no doubt about it. Everybody at that level can do a couple of things well. How many things can you do outside of 2 things?
Right.
Can you shoot? Can you play D? And can you rebound? That's what's going to separate you when you get to that next school. And this girl can shoot it just as well as you, but where does it differentiate? You know what I mean? Where does it make me want to play you more than her? So that's what I'm trying to teach her.
Awesome. Well, you know, take us away from the I Love Lucy show. We got Sky, and she's been dubbed the name Sky the Limit Jasper. Against Seward, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. And then Alexis Wooden, 16 points, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal, and 7 rebounds. So it was an all-around team effort for this win. Even though Lucy had, you know, the big numbers with the 19 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, but collectively you guys had a team game. Oh,
no doubt about it. I think I want to start with my bench. I think my bench kept us in it with the energy. And, you know, before the Pratt game, what I was trying to explain to them, and we've been so focused on trying to be a team, you know, working through turmoil. And I told them, I said, listen, you know, being a team is great, but you have to do your part. I say, you know, you can have the best looking car, but if the carburetor don't work, it ain't gonna run. The carburetor has to do its part. So that's my thing was just letting them know, listen, individually, you have to do your part. Whether it's cheering on the bench, you know, whether it's going in for that quick sub and then getting right back out, you know, to give somebody a blow, you have to do your part, and you have to be happy with your part. And I think our bench did a great job of keeping the energy in the building, as well as our fans. We got some great fans, by the way. But they did a great job of keeping us going. And then so when that happens, I think everybody else started to do their jobs. And I'm always on my sophomores about consistency. You know, doing it not just one game and then skipping 2 games, but doing it every game. Sky Jasper is a kid that does it every game. She might not have the great numbers, but she's going to be in every category. And one thing about that kid is she's 5'11", but we can make her guard the 1 through the 5. She can play the position 3 through the 5 on offense. So when you have that, it kind of just it is a great asset for you. And I told her before the game, I said, don't freak out on me. I'm going to start you. And she was like, no, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Because, you know, we kind of moved her out of it because she was playing well. But I knew we needed all hands on deck to beat Seward. And so she played well. And then Alexis Wooden, best game of the season for her. She shot the jump shot. I've been trying to get her to shoot that for a year and a half now. And this game, she shot it. She didn't hesitate. She was confident. And we already know that she rebounds, does the little bitty things on the defensive end. But I was just trying to get her to broaden her game on the offensive end. And I think this game she did it. And I'm hoping she see this game to where, listen, hey, I actually can hit that jump shot. Hey, I actually can score over 6'4". If I can score over 6'4", I definitely can score on a 6 foot. So my sophomores played a real good game. And I told them after the game, I said, I'm always on your butt about how y'all not leaders, how y'all not doing what y'all supposed to be doing. And after that game, I told them I wanted to praise them in front of the team. I wanted to let them know, you know, we had a great team effort, but you three ladies stepped up and did what sophomores are supposed to do. And I was extremely happy with them. But Sky got a lot of big rebounds offensively.
Right.
When, you know, we got good looks and we just missed them, she got it and got us another opportunity at the basket. So she was doing it on both ends of the floor. And hopefully that's a kid who will get more recruited, because I think she's a diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
She's a kid that you can use in different spots, and I mean, how can you not want a kid like that?
Well, and a killer mid-range game.
Oh, no doubt about it.
And she just gave that space, because again, she's given up a few inches, and it's nice and soft, that jump shot she's got. Like, she did a great job.
Man, look, turning and spinning, shooting a little fade over the 6'4".
It looked good.
Yeah, in my mind, I'm going, what are you? Oh, that's a great shot, girl. Great shot. You know, because she was shooting over the 6'4", and I was kind of telling her, listen, man, that girl can't guard you. Just go around her. But girlfriend had that thing working, so you know, I ain't gonna stop it. I just complain in my mind and cheer on the outside.
Right. How important is it having a player of the caliber of Michaela Tanksley?
It's huge. It's huge. She's a seasoned kid, being that she came from Division II. Never really gets rattled. What I don't know if you've seen in the middle of the game, she threw one away, and we called a timeout, and I put my arm around her, and I was just talking to her, and I told her, I say, you know, sometimes I feel like you're too cool for school, you know, and I know your demeanor is, you know, she's very reserved. Nothing really bothers her, but I told her, I said, man, you are El Capitan. You know, you have to lead this. This is your baby, you know, so you can't get a ball up and run down the floor. And that's not the way this thing goes. You the point guard, you have to go and get it. And so when she goes and gets it, she does great things for us. She gets us going. She gets us set up. She plays 30-something minutes and probably averages about 3 turnovers. And I told her that I take that any day.
Yeah.
I take that any day. And so when you have a kid like that you know you can give the ball, whether they pressing or not, she can at least get across half court and get you set up and get you going and make that first entry pass, which is huge. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. That first pass to start our offense is the hardest pass of the game. To get that pass off and get the offense going when people know what you're gonna run, it's very, very tough. And she does that on a night in, night out, play-by-play type of deal. And so we really appreciate her. She's a great kid. I'm trying to get her expand her game to score a little bit more because she's so fast that people stand from here to that door. Because they know she's just gonna blow by them. So I'm trying to get her to get more confidence. And last game she hit a 3, hit the rim, bounced up, and then went in. But I'm trying to get her to understand, listen, the more you score, the more they have to spread out, and then the more you can get in and score by layups or just cutting people up with good passes. So I love her to death. I think it was a great pickup. I recruited her for 2 years. She went somewhere else and kind of stayed on her, and then she ended up coming being a Red Raven, so we was good with that.
Well, that says a lot, because technically she's a sophomore, but in ways she's a freshman because it's her first year with you. Right. So she's kind of actually have to break down a little bit of their old coaching, new coaching, and but the steady hand, and I think she competes. Yeah. A quiet competitor sometimes.
Yes.
But but you can really tell, like, there's just a confidence out there that I think, again, we talk about with freshmen, every single little game just gets a little bit better. And I think she showed something that last game.
Yeah, man, she's a dog. Weight room, probably the strongest girl on the team. I mean, do diamond push-ups, those ones where you do the push-up, jump up and clap. I mean, she just do them, and you be sitting there going, are you serious? You know, and like it's just mind-blowing. But strong as an ox, and just tough all the way around the board. So the more she does good for us, man, and the more she comes out of her shell, the better we'll be. Because you got to have a good point guard to be successful, especially in this league. So.
Well, I mean, that kind of transitions us to how has the team and the freshmen grown in the past 11 games?
Like he said, I think game by game we're growing, we're getting a little older. It's a slow process. No doubt about it. It's very, very slow, but it's moving. We're kind of doing some things now that we haven't done in the past. We're just not doing now is getting them all to show up on one game, and not just them as a player, but all the little bitty things that we've been doing well. Because we, one game we'll shoot well from the free throw line, and not turn the ball over. And then the next game, we won't shoot well from the free throw line, and we'll turn it over, but, we'll out-rebound a team. So, it's just like trying to get all those intangibles together for one sit-down is what we're striving for. And so I have to continually remind myself and my coach that it's a process. If it could happen overnight, if coaches knew how to make it happen overnight, a lot of more people would be successful.
Right.
But
professionals.
Right. But you just have to keep grinding and keep preaching it. And no matter how boring or mundane it gets, just keep doing it over and over and over again until one day it finally sneaks in, and then the light goes on, and then finally registers. So just keep doing it.
And then Tatiana McCree, I know we've talked about her today and in the past. On the season, averaging 7 points per game, a steal per game, and just right around 3 rebounds per game. How has her game progressed from the last time that we all talked?
I think Todd is moving. She's moving slower than I want, but she's moving. Learning the speed, physicality of the game. In her defense, she hasn't really played in 2 years, but man, we didn't play 11, 12 games.
Right.
Gotta adjust. But once the kid gets comfortable, and that's what I'm trying to let her know, just be comfortable. I never get on you about missed shots. Now if you miss 3, 4 of them, then I gotta say something. But shoot the ball.
Right.
You have the same range as Lucy. She has the same green light as Lucy. So just relax and shoot the ball. Once she relaxes and stop stressing out about misses, and that's her biggest thing. She misses and it's like, and I'm like, man, after 2 misses, you done wasted so much energy on you kicking your own butt instead of just letting it go and going back, because you're going to get another shot. So I'm trying to get her comfortable, man. But she's progressing. She's starting to hit more shots. I just needed to have that game like she had that first game when she hit about 4 or 5 of them.
Right.
I need her to have that. I don't need you to hit 5 every game, but I need you to hit 3.
Right. And the confidence to go along with it.
Right. If you start to hit 3, you get your layup or 2, you get your couple free throws, bada bing, bada boom, you have 15 points.
Right.
So that's what I'm just trying to get her to understand. You don't have to make 5 threes a game. I would love it, but you don't have to. Give me 3.
Right.
That's maybe 2 in the first, 1 in the second, or 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Kind of work it in, you know, and don't just think every time you shoot, you got to make it. If you think that, it's going to be very stressful, and once you miss 1, it's over with. It's going to snowball downhill. So just trying to get her to understand, just relax, shoot the ball. Don't worry about make some misses. Let me worry about that. And then just let the chips fall where they may. But she'll get there. Once she gets there, I'm going to be all right.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about spreading out defenses, and you have Lucy and Tatiana just draining it.
Yeah.
I mean...
And then you got to go play Cowley, and all Cowley do is play zone for 40 minutes.
Right.
And you're going to have to make some threes in that game, to do. And then you got to go back and you got to go play Seward at their house.
Yep.
So, you're going to play them, and then you're going to have some other teams that throw some zone in there. And that was one of the things I was worried about, because we haven't seen a lot of zone. And so I was like, we haven't been shooting pretty well. So I was preaching, listen, turn them threes down. Let's get inside the zone, get behind it, see if we can get some easy looks. But we handled it well, so hopefully in the future we'll do the same.
And then looking forward to Neosho, what are you doing to get your girls prepared for that? How without showing the cards or anything like that, how are you preparing for them? Like
they the #1 team in the country.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. That's what we're gonna do, man. Their team has a great coach. Love JJ to death. He gets his girls fired up. No matter what the outcome is supposed to be, he gets them to play extremely hard. And they played Pratt last Saturday just passed, and they beat Pratt by, I want to say, 20-something points. And we beat Pratt by what, 3, 4? So it's like I'm gonna use that.
Right.
I'm gonna say this. I know what you think in the past because in the past we've beaten them by at least 20 to 25 points. But one thing JJ has done, he's established a foundation, and they've been building every year. And his team is actually better than it was last year and the year before. So you have to understand these kids are coming in here trying to beat you. They looked at your record, looked at their record. They looked at your percentage, looked at their percentage. They looked at who you played and how much you beat them by. So in their mind, they thinking, hey, this is the year, baby. We can sneak in there and go get them. And he's going to junk it up. He's going to throw everything in the book at us. He's going to switch it up almost every possession defensively, I'm saying, as far as presses, as far as zones, as far as man-to-man. So it's going to be a game that we've never seen before. So that's how we're going to attack it. We're going to, like I say, prepare like they're the #1 team, and we're going to get after it today. The honeymoon is over with.
Right.
They've
had a day to.
Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the day because it's, I'm coming in here like we lost on Saturday. So, and you got to keep that mentality with those freshmen because, they extend that honeymoon. It's like, listen, that was great. Thank God for the win. Hey, let's go get another one.
Right.
We got 2 before the end for the break, and this is the first time this year where we won 2 in a row. So let's go for 4 in a row. Well, first let's go for 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Right.
Then let's go for 4 in a row, and then let's get away from each other. Everybody go enjoy Christmas, and then come back, get the ship right, and go into that second half because we got to go play Butler. We haven't played them yet. Got to go to Barton. And you got to go play Cali, and who's playing extremely well. And then we're looking forward to that Indy game.
Right.
Yep.
Always looking forward to that game. So
I am too.
Second half is going to be a different half. My teams have I've been blessed for them to play better in the second half than they have in the first. So I'm hoping I get that same blessing. We can start kicking some butt.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, thank you for taking the time out and coming out here and talking to us.
Hey, man, always good, man. Always good. I enjoy hanging out with you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach.
No problem.